Welcome to Unraveling Midlife. I'm your host, Sarah Spence. Thanks for joining me as I explore my own astrological midlife by speaking with all sorts of inspiring people about their life and work. If you're new to the show, welcome. At the end of the episode, I often share a track of my original music. Check out the show notes for links mentioned during this episode. So, what is astrological midlife? It relates to Western astrology transits that run from the mid-30s to the mid-40s for everyone. Each of the main midlife transits have an overall theme, though details vary by generation and, of course, by individual. It directly corresponds to the term midlife crisis, though I like to call it the midlife unraveling, and my therapist tells me to consider it as enlightenment. Whatever we call it, I've been noticing changes in the mirror, which is where today's guest comes in. Lisa Goodeve is a specialist in natural skincare and helping people find their confidence through their skin. Starting as a beauty therapist, she now creates her own line of chemical-free, local, organic and sustainable products, as well as giving blissful facials. Lisa, welcome to Unraveling Midlife. It's so good to have you here.
That's awesome. Thanks for inviting me.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
What do? I am a predominantly skin therapist. I trained as a beauty therapist, but my passion is skin. That's why I got into beauty therapy in the first place, was my journey with skin. As a teenager, had terrible acne, and my mum took me in to have that addressed, and that changed my life. So I kind of followed down that path, and once I got into the beauty, I was like, that's what spins my wheels. That's what makes me happy, is when I can help other people feel good in their skin. So I kind of very, very quickly, after only a few years in the industry, started to drop everything else that came with the beauty therapy job, and just really focused on skin treatments. So a few years into that, I started kind of focusing then on what I was using to do those skin treatments, and came to a bit of a path where everything that was available within the industry, skincare branding wise, was chemical based. And having grown up in a really wholesome organic family that focused on natural health and natural well-being, I found that really difficult to be offering chemical based skincare to my clients. So I started sort of down that path of looking for natural alternatives, and couldn't find anything that was out there that ticked all the boxes, that was natural, but potent enough to get results. So when people come to you as a skin therapist, they want to fix things. They want, pigmentation or acne or aging. They have an issue that they want addressed. And so you need good active skincare to do that, and good skin treatments to do that with potency in them. But that just wasn't available without that chemical content. So that kind of led me off on a new path of making my own. I'd sort of had enough years of working with different products to know what worked, what ingredients worked, and processes worked, but what I didn't want. And the artificial fragrances are a really big one. Even in a lot of natural skincare, they'll be natural to a point, but they'll still have the artificial fragrance, which is a huge irritant, and colors, artificial color. And often that's just to make it smell good, make it look good. And preservatives. There's some pretty nasty preservatives out there, which, if you're basically putting things onto your skin, you are ingesting them. So if you wouldn't eat it, you don't want to be putting it onto your skin. It's still being absorbed into the body, and you're still having to eliminate it. So so formulating a product with the potency and the purity without any chemical compromise became my focus. So I've worked with a formulator and created my own full range of therapy grade skincare, basically.
What's a formulator?
So just somebody who's already had the knowledge in the industry of making and creating products. So I sat with her and said, I want this product to contain vitamin C. I want some high levels of vitamin C. I want hyaluronic acid because I know that helps hold the moisture in the skin.
Don't tell us everything. You might give away your secret.
True. But these are my key ingredients that I just keep plugging to people. You've got to have these to address age repair. So a formulator is somebody who's studied the chemical makeup of making those products. And she goes, that's great. I can give you vitamin C, and this is what it's going to take to make that stable. And you're going to need a preservative, and this is your, EcoCert certified for organic products preservative system that we can work with. The technical side of stuff.
Well, there's a job I never knew existed.
Yeah. And I've since gone on to do a little bit of online training myself in that creating and formulating. And it's a whole different kettle of fish than mixing up something in your kitchen, because it does come down to chemistry, which is a whole thing in itself, basically.
Did a bit of that at uni, yeah.
And very different from a basic let's mix some oils together, right? Chemistry is a real technique, obviously a real science. So yes, so that became my focus, was kind of developing a website and being able to sell it to people, get the word out there and share it amongst more people than I just had in my salon. And so that's probably the biggest part of my business, is running my website and
doing the marketing. It always is.
Yeah.
You've got a passion, then you have to learn how to market it.
Yeah, and it's really interesting when you're the one that loves to do the treatments and to provide the results on the skin, but you've got to be the social media guru and keep up with all the latest platforms, and then you just nail something and then it's something new. And we don't do stories now, we do reels, and now we're on TikTok, and it's pretty hard to keep up with.
I was going to ask if you're on TikTok.
No, not yet.
No, me neither. I'm feeling a little old.
Me too. But I think the problem is, by the time I learn it, that'll be gone. It'll be the next thing. Let's just wait for the next wave and just jump on the next one, I reckon.
Yeah, who knows what that will be.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I was gonna say I feel old, but that's okay because I've got good skincare.
Yes, exactly. So that'll keep you young. That will keep you young.
Yeah. I mean, skincare is important, but do you talk with your clients about like diet and all that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, we do. We definitely touch on that because that's really important. Obviously, what you are feeding your body does come out in your skin. So if you're not eating well or you're not living a good lifestyle, doesn't matter how good the skincare you use is, it's not going to be the complete answer. So it is about total wellness. It's about hydrating, making sure you're drinking plenty of water and eating good unprocessed foods. Definitely that's a part of it. I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't give that nutritional advice that goes beyond that basic kind of information, but I do often refer people on if there's an underlying something that's happening. So
does that happen often? Like it might be an irritant from something people are eating or that kind of thing?
Yeah, it does happen reasonably often. Probably a big part of fixing a skin complaint when they come to me is generally that they haven't been looking after their skin and they haven't been doing the right things. And a little reminder, getting them onto the right products, obviously, makes a huge difference. Giving them a good regime that's right for them. There's quite often in young skins too, a really, really big problem is I'll see them coming in with acne, well, even from midlife, they're coming in with acne and breakouts that happen all the time around periods and things. But it's just that they're using the wrong things. They might be cleansing with a foaming cleanser that's soap based, and it's just stripping away all the natural oils of the skin and creating more problems. So more often than not, the people that I see, it is predominantly about getting the right things on their skin. And then just that reminder to them that, hey, are you drinking enough water? Are you sleeping enough? And are you eating well and getting, variants of good, fruits and vegetables in your diet? And often that's just enough for them to go, no, I'm not. I'm off track. And they'll get that back into play.
I did. You told me that I needed more omega-3s, so I've found a vegan one.
Great, awesome. And what a difference it makes, eh? And those are the little supplementations that I do advise on, is the omegas, because that is one of the most predominantly important things for the skin, is getting those omega oils in, because we don't eat the right foods to get those anymore. And the other one is collagen. Quite often I'll see people with problematic breakouts and things happening in certain areas. That indicates to me that their gut's not healthy. And, we all benefit from a collagen supplement. And often just that knitting back of the gut helps everything function healthier, the good bacteria back in, and that also sees a really quick turnaround. So, the omegas and the collagen, the water intake, and the cutting out the processed food and eating the good food is a huge part. Then if it's anything more, which does sometimes happen, obviously, then I just refer people on to different naturopaths and different modalities that I see fit for where they're coming from.
Cool. And you've been telling me that you've got a great retreat coming up.
Yes, I have. I've just found one of the big things for me is I have people lie on my therapy bed and have a beautiful treatment, and it finishes, and more often than not, the words that come out of their mouth are, oh, can I just stay here all day? Or I don't want to get off now, I'm not ready. And so I've decided to run these retreats for just taking a whole day. Take a day out and just look after you, and don't think about anything else other than just looking after you and having some downtime, some treatment, some pampering, and some nurturing, really. And I know there's a lot of amazing retreats and things that are around for people to get away, which is really awesome to see. But what I'm focusing on at the moment is often it's really difficult to get a weekend or a week. Even just one night away sometimes it's really tough, particularly if you've got kids at home. And, then you've got the logistics of having somebody come in for the night to do that. Often it gets too hard. But a day is quite achievable for most people. And a day is like a holiday. If you're coming in the morning and you're not leaving till 6 at night, you've had a really good break from your life. A really good, I don't have to think about anybody else. Just some real good soul food to have hustle and bustle taken away, to be somewhere tranquil so your mind can settle, and then to have your body looked after and have somebody just nurturing you with beautiful treatments and touch. That energy exchange is just really important. And while they're fueling with some good, beautiful, energy rich food that's been grown in the garden without all of the pesticides, and fuel the body from it within. And a whole day of that can just absolutely hit the reset button and bring you back to brand new. So that's my little pet project at the moment, is bringing that to people, to just share that joy and give them that zen time.
And so what's your next date and the general location, in case we have someone that But that sounds
Well,
attractive too. Who's in the right area at the right
yeah.
time?
Yeah, well, I have got two more coming up soon. The first one will be Saturday, the 7th of October. And then there's another one the following day on Sunday, the 8th of October. And that's still got both of them have still got spaces in them. Small groups of women that we just, coming together from 9 in the morning till 6 in the evening. And it's just all about all of that, just being looked after and soul fed. And it's at a beautiful location, just here in the Bay of Plenty between Tauranga and Kitty Cat. There's an amazing little retreat there tucked in Riverside. So we've got beautiful stream that you can also enjoy through the day and just sit and have some mindfulness or some meditation time between your treatments, or a nice little dip in the swimming hole should you be up for that. So yeah, just a real break from, I don't know, pretty refreshing and good for you. Good for you.
Good for the skin, right?
It is. It's so good. Great for the circulation. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So still space at time of recording. So hopefully still space at time of podcast release, which will be probably 5 or 6 days from now.
Yeah. And if not then certainly, like you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, because I haven't got as far as TikTok, but I'll keep them advertised, and I will have more coming up. I've had a huge amount of interest, so I've got a good amount of people saying yes, definitely. I can't do that date, and that's coming up, but the next one I'm all over. So yeah, definitely be more of those to come.
So get in quick, keep your eyes up for dates, and book a trip to the Bay of Plenty, even if that requires an international flight. Clearly,
absolutely,
you want to be
absolutely.
Here.
I promise it'll be worth it.
That's
nothing
great.
like several hours of just treatment. Oh, love it. It's nothing better.
Have to admit, I was a bit late to the treatment party. I think I don't think I had my. I think I've only had 3 facials.
And you know what? I don't think people realize just how therapeutic it is. The word facials sounds so unexciting, but in actual fact, that you get that, well, the touch and that energy exchange, you get that pampering and that nurturing, but then you walk away, and how does it make you feel? You're so relaxed, you're so replenished, and then you get to look at your skin and think, wow, it's radiant, and that goes on for weeks. It has such a long-term effect. I don't think people just realize how hugely beneficial they are. So it's often not necessarily a priority, but once you've started, you realize it is. And
oh yeah, I can think of my mother. She loves facials.
yes, and you've now experienced it. Keep going. It's it's a pretty addictive hobby.
Speaking of hobbies, well, as anyone that listens to the show will know, that I don't know if hobby really describes my interest in astrology, since I've made a podcast about it, but I guess it could.
Yeah. I would say it's a hobby. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, well, it is so far.
It's great.
So I mean, you're on a show that like loosely talks about astrological midlife. Sometimes we delve into it a little bit more than other times, but like, given like I gave you some dates and you're through your astrological midlife, what kind of changes happened for you during that? Well, I guess it was a 9-year period, and lots of people change in that 9-year period. But I wonder if there was anything significant that stood out. How did your business change? Anything like that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of changes in that time. You're talking the last 9-year period?
No, from 2004 to 2019.
Right.
Astrological midlife for you.
Right. Okay. So, in that time, I guess there have been a lot of changes, a lot of really, really big changes. I went from kind of, I followed systems a lot, like I came in and did my job and did what I was sort of told, this is how you do it. And I kind of fell into having a family and just sort of, just became a mum, and this is the routine of all of that. So in that last midlife, I guess I found myself. I found, what is it that I really, what about me? What am I here for? What's this about? And this is where I've very specifically gone down that path of narrowing out. I don't actually like doing so much, the manicures and the pedicures and everything else that comes with that beauty therapy. This is what really drives me, and fine-tuning that all the way along. And now I guess I'm at that part where I've fine-tuned it down that path of bringing skincare specifically and skin treatments to people. What is it about? That is a job that I specifically drives me. And it's not so much the making of the product, because I still physically make all the product myself and do all of that. And that's where I have somebody that's going to be coming in to be making all of that. So I can focus more on this. What do I like? I love nurturing people. And that's where the spa retreats have developed from. It's about bringing that really sort of nurturing and looking after people to quite a specific focus. So that's become more tuned and focused in that way. My children are all growing and they're all becoming quite independent. So with that, I have too. I've started taking up my own, rather than just being a mum and doing what I'm, the looking
Mum
after
things.
everybody else, doing all the mum things. What really excites me? So, I've pursued my running. I love my run club and setting myself those goals, like my half marathon last weekend, and taken up making time for Pilates and yoga, because that brings me balance. So, prioritize that into my life that I've never done before. So yeah, there's been a lot of changes. I've just really specifically about kind of looking after me and what I'm here for, what I'm about, what I've got to bring, and living in my truth was my big thing in those last few years.
Hallelujah. I've still got a couple of years of astrological midlife, and I'm like, please, universe, this is what I need. Like, what am I here for and what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah, well, it just sort of came, and I did actually say one day, I just want to live in my truth, and everything's just come to big changes, and I've left my marriage and doing the kids on my own, and there've been some really big changes, but they're all really positive. I feel like I'm filling the path that I'm kind of here for. Woo! So yeah, it's been pretty powerful, and
great.
So yes, astrological midlife, there's been lots of shifts. Yeah.
I was just thinking about, because we talked a little bit, you said that one of the drivers of people coming to see you is because of age, and you've got what's the word? A set of products like catered to that, but you've got other sets of products and things too, right?
Yes, I do. So predominantly, I see women. That's sort of the industry. I guess it's who it's been marketed to, and women, possibly, without sounding sexist, are a little bit more aware of things like their skin. So that's been my demographic predominantly, is women that get to that age. They get to their 30s, mid-30s, and they start to say, I'm starting to see signs of aging. I'm starting to see lines. I'm starting to see a change in my skin. And what do I do about it? So they get this drive to seek out somebody to talk to about this. So so I have a full range of products that is an age repair, it's called. So it's age prevention and repair for that demographic. But those people often look after other people. They're often the one that provides and looks after the children. and quite often the husbands. So through those women, I have done another range for youth, for their children. They've said, "Oh, what about my kids? What do I do for my kids' skin?" So I've got a lovely preteen range that starts anywhere from about the age of 10, getting them into really good habits with a good, simple regime that just says on the bottle 1, 2, 3.
Cleanse, tone, moisturize.
No fuss, just a 1, 2, 3. It keeps it real simple. And that same group of women had asked me for products for their husbands, so they stop using theirs. So again, that's been simplified and catered to men's skin. So that's another range. And I do have another one for a sort of your late teens, early 20s that I've always had, which is just balancing. When I get somebody with an oilier skin, we'd go between the age repair or the balancing was my original range. But yeah, bringing in the youth, bringing in the men's. I do a range of essentials, which is body oil, eye cream, exfoliants. I do face masks for broad range. And I'm just bringing in, and this year before Christmas, we'll be launching some more body products. So I've got a body scrub and an oil and a lotion coming into the body range to complete that side as well. So,
exciting!
Yeah, caters for everyone and everything.
So, having been a youth and in my late teens and early 20s, and now in the astrological midlife demographic,
yes,
I'm aware of those kind of skins. And I mean, I know men, but what's the difference between women and men's skin? Is there?
Yeah, basically, the men's range has been modified because often they have, firstly, a thicker skin. So they need good nurturing oils and ingredients for that. I've made their cleanser so that it's got a beautiful slip to it so that they can shave with it. Their spritzer for treatment afterwards doesn't contain the ascorbic acid that which is the vitamin C form that I use in my age repair range, because often when they shave, that can be an irritant. So I've got beautiful vitamin C rich oils in there, black currant and red raspberry seeds. So they're getting the nutrients in there of the vitamin C. They're getting that going in, but without the irritating acid form, and some other beautiful soothing, cooling ingredients post shaving. And the moisturizer that follows is the same. It's for that thicker skin that they tend to have. Calming, soothing post shaving as well. But the clever part of that is that it's in a little pump bottle, so that it's a controlled amount that they use, because that was the common complaint with the age repair range for women, is they'd say, my husband puts his finger into my pot of cream and uses half of the pot every time he uses it. So,
that would be so annoying.
Rather than us with our delicate little spatula and our tiny amount that we need to use, the finger goes in and half a tub is gone. So yeah.
Would you recommend using a spatula over a finger?
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're putting bacteria into your cream, Sarah. You knew that.
She saw my face. No, I didn't. You didn't tell me about that. I have never used. I've never used a spatula. I mean, I did kind of cross my mind in recent months. I'm like, it's probably not that good putting my finger back in, and maybe if I'm taking a while to use the moisturizer, then it's probably just bacteria growing. But it was a real subconscious thought that just kind of floated across the back of my mind that I didn't follow. But now I've followed it.
The beautiful thing is, because you're using your moisturizer regularly, and it won't be sitting around for that long, so there won't be too much chance for anything to grow.
Day and night.
And of course, it has its natural preservative system. That's all certified eco-organic, as well as your pure vitamin E, which is another amazing, preservative system in there. So
I just love it. That moisturizer is gorgeous.
And isn't it makes such a difference when you use good products to the way it does actually have a significant difference to the way you feel. Your skin within a few days, it's like, wow, that is softer. It's more hydrated. It's got bounce back. It looks good. People will comment, what are you doing? You look different. To actually visibly see and feel a difference is great. And that comes down to when I talked earlier about a professional product, a therapy grade product, is the difference between a product that is full of active ingredients, meaning ingredients that actually get results rather than fillers. Because there are a lot of, cheaper products on the market, and they might have natural ingredients in them, but they're not active. They might be oils that have got a molecular size that doesn't even penetrate the skin. So while it sounds nice, it sounds like a lovely oil, sweet almond oil is lovely, but it doesn't penetrate the skin because it's got a large molecular size. So it sits on the surface. And so it's not going to have the benefit to the skin cells. That's your therapy grade or your professional grade products have got active ingredients, and that's where you get the result.
So I know this happens all over, and it only happened to me when I was, where was I? Switzerland.
Yeah.
And Hungary, where the hardcore salespeople end up luring you in, and then they basically that they insult you in an undermined way to sell you a product. And I was just like, I just felt so disgusted that they would use my self-esteem to make a sale. And then that was in Hungary, and then I was in Switzerland. I had some time and I was wandering around Bern, and this lady in the shop, she said, oh, just try this cream on your eyes. And it did. It made me look like I had less wrinkles. It plumped them up or whatever. And then I realized that she was doing that. And I felt disgusted again and walked away.
Yes.
But what happens with those kind of, like, they're quite expensive products. Are they like those ones that just kind of, I mean, clearly they're chemicals, but how are they plumping up?
Well, some of them have got some very good ingredients in them. There are products out there that I have been, they have got some amazing products that do, like, for example, might do something like that. It will fill with something. And not to say that it's not, well, I mean, it may be chemical, but there are sometimes where there are natural ingredients. It will be in there and they'll say, wow, this is whatever it is, and it will do this. But often there's a huge amount of chemical compromise in there, as well as that's sort of something to be really careful of. I guess what you're saying is when you go into these stores and these big high-end places like that for an instant result.
Oh, I was approached. I wasn't going in for that.
Oh, right. And they came and sought you out. Well, I mean, that's their sales technique, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah. It is. It's like, okay, well, I know, because if I'm going to make you feel really horrible about the way you feel, you're not going to leave here without fixing it, are you? No. You're going to feel so rubbish, actually, that they've actually noticed that this looks so awful on me. They've pulled me aside. It's just such a horrible sales technique, isn't it?
Well, I read about it in the news just last week, and it happened in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they managed to take them to court and get a refund because, anyway, it was a whole thing.
Right.
But I don't need to listen to any of those sales techniques anymore, because I've found a product that is fabulous.
Yes, exactly. And I try very, very hard not to ever say to anybody, that's really bad, like, obviously people come for advice, and I like to know what it is that you are concerned about. What are you worried about, and what would you like to see what improved in your skin? What would make you feel better? What is the reason that you're here for, and how can I help you address that? And then if there's other areas that I see that you may not have mentioned, then I will talk about it with you. And if that's not a problem for you, then that's not a problem for you, because it's about bringing confidence. It's about, it's not about perfection. It's about confidence. So if I can help you feel confident in your skin, then that's my job done.
Oh, fabulous. So
Yeah.
how do people find you, even if they can't, even if they're nowhere near the Bay of Plenty? You sell online, right?
I do. So I've got my online store, which is just www.lisagoodeve.co.nz. And that, if you're anywhere, you can log into that. And there is the ability to have consultations online. So
Great.
I have my whole shop's on there, so you can buy products directly from there, and I ship them worldwide. I've got customers all over. I send quite a lot to Australia. I send to the UK. I've got a lot of clients in Denmark. So yeah, worldwide shipping is fine, and access to me via that is really easy too, because I can do online consultations very, very easily. Then if you're in the Bay, I do treatments myself, but I also have a couple of therapists here in the Bay that stock my products, and they are fully trained therapists as well. And I can lead you to them to book in for treatments with the products, as well as to purchase them and to have consultations with them. And I've also got another lovely therapist in Taranaki that I can put you onto if you're down that way. I've just had another one join me in Te Araha, so I can point you that way if you're over that way. And that's something that I will be looking at getting to in the future too. Was I'd always looked at distributing to therapists, because as a therapist myself, if I couldn't find what I was looking for, and that's something that was that potent, that active, got results, but without the chemical compromise, there's got to be a heap of therapists there that are in the same boat. So the long-term plan was to launch it to therapists as well. But in the interim, I've actually had a few therapists just come direct to me and say, I'm really, really, really wanting to work with your products. So I have already got these couple of them on board. So yeah, nice. I can join up, link you up with any one of those people to be able to experience treatments with the products if you're not in the Bay as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Oh, thanks so much for talking to me today about skin. I've learnt quite a bit, actually.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, it's really, I'm just really passionate about it, because it's, your face is your billboard. You can't cover it up. This is what the world sees of you. And like I said earlier, it's not about it being perfect, but if you feel good about it, then it just gives you a confidence. And I just really love being able to give people that confidence to feel good, to feel proud. And yeah, that's what makes me really excited. And yeah.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Welcome to the music section of the show. This song is called Swing Atomique and was co-written in 2015 in Switzerland at a gathering where a bunch of musicians came together and recorded an album under Free Soul School Switzerland. A friend who'd invited me, well, a friend of a friend really, Noemi came up with the chord progression. I wrote the English lyrics, and then Noemi decided that the equivalent in French would be far too corny. So the lyrics in French are all about a hungover drunkard and there's a mouse, and have fun with that translation. Recorded live at New Zealand Spirit South Island, January 2023, with a bit of buttery fingery tongue. Gosh, that sounds really odd, but I won't edit it out. There is a link to the multi-instrumental version we recorded outside of Bern in the show notes. Swing Atomique.
J'ai la grande gueule de bois. Les moustiques ne me pargnent pas. J'ai envie de me casser de chez toi. Je passe le pas de la porte. Je m'écrase comme une rame. L'escalier était trop mouillé. Je me retrouve à sauter. Je passe le pas de la porte. Je m'écrase comme une rame. L'escalier était trop mouillé. you learn, I'll get you in next time. J'atterris dans les adieux de la fin du marché. J'ai trouvé une petite bout de nature qui me donne les de famille. Je me mets un pincette sur le nez, tu verras qu'on va l'odeur. C'est pipi de le matin à 5 heures. Je me mets un pincette sur le nez, je verrai qu'on va l'odeur. C'est pipi de laine de bébé le matin à 5 heures. Let's go! Easy words that I'm not going to trip over either. You ready, Lala? I can see your mouths moving. Really well done. Freedom is a state of mind. Go with the flow. Life is always a bouncing act. Which way to go? Or is there not a direction? It's all about being here. Right now in the present moment, all can become clear. When feelings take us over, how hard it can be. Letting them come through and be felt, that's how to get free. And in the end, life all works out, never how we expect. Focus on no expectations, cause they can't be met. You ready? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. One more time, everyone. Stop reading and talking. Sing with me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Thank you for singing with me. Do you feel better for the singing? Yeah. Singing just makes us...
Unraveling Midlife is brought to you from Aotearoa, New Zealand by www.sarahmarlowspence.com. Theme music is by Sarah Marlow Spence and Sarasvati Marie Willis, and art by Samantha Hepburn.